Hello everyone, this is part 6 of What If Naruto Was Trained by Anko, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. Be sure to like and subscribe. The last 3 months Naruto and Anko spent on several things. Naruto had started kenjutsu training, which he liked a lot, and he had now almost mastered the basics and would soon start on making his own techniques. He had also made good progress with his own taijutsu style as well. The style which combined the moves he liked the most of the two styles was just perfect for him. He was getting really good at it too. He also made a large number of disposable throwing knives from scrap metal and had made a special seal that he placed on his holster and allowed him to take a knife just by channeling a minuscule amount of chakra into the seal. The belt he had bought hold his sword with ease on his lower back in a horizontal position. All Naruto had to do was grab the handle and a sword with a 27-inch blade would slide out a 10-inch length sheath. He had mastered several new jutsu. All in all, Naruto had become a strong genin that would be able to hold his own against a lot of shinobi. The thing he needed the most of all was experience, but that would come with the missions they would do. There were 5 months before the Chunin exam would take place, and she told Naruto that he would enter no matter what. Naruto didn't disagree. Becoming Chunin was the next step and he felt that he was ready for it. So now they were on their way to the village after 6 months of training, and Naruto couldn't wait to see his Ji-chan, Iruka and Hideki-san. He wanted to show them how strong he had gotten and that he was worthy of their trust in him. He also couldn't wait to go to Ichiraku's and have some ramen. He really missed his ramen, but thanks to a healthy street he had grown some 3 inches. No longer was he a shrimp in his own eyes. Thinking about all of this got him really excited and he picked up the pace. Anko, who had been in front, let Naruto pass, knowing he was anxious to get back. She looked at him and no longer saw a small boy with fierce determination. No, that boy had become a young man she was very proud of. Naruto had grown a lot these past 6 months, not only in a psychical way but also emotionally. He became a young man full of confidence and a drive to never give up no matter what. She was very glad to know him and she felt honored that she was one of his precious people. She had become very attached to the young shinobi, but she didn't know in which way just yet. It could be a sisterly way of attachment, though if she was honest with herself she knew it wasn't that kind of attachment. No, it was much more than that, but she didn't want to think about that right now. Besides, there was little chance Naruto would feel the same for her. If she had known how Naruto truly felt about her, she would have known that that chance wasn't little at all. Seeing that they had arrived at the main gate, she cleared her head of such thoughts and stepped up beside him. They entered through the gate and went straight for the Hokage Tower, where they would meet with the Hokage, Iruka and Hideki at Naruto's request. Passing through town, Naruto noticed that not much had changed since he left, and he was kind of glad. He liked the village just as it was. Arriving at the tower, they quickly went up to the appointment lady, as Naruto liked to call her, and asked if they could enter. She nodded, telling them that everyone was waiting for them. They thanked her and knocked on the door. Hearing the okay to enter, they opened the door. Sarutobi, Iruka and Hideki had been patiently waiting for their 2 guests to arrive. All 3 of them had been waiting for this day for 6 months. Last month Anko had asked if Sarutobi could gather Iruka and Hideki when they returned. The last week proved to be an amazing test for their patience and their nerves. None of them had slept very well last night because they were so nervous to see Naruto again. So when they heard a knock on the door, the 3 of them jumped up from their chair and waited for them to come in. Sarutobi quickly gave permission to enter and the 3 have held their breath, wondering what they would happen next. Anko entered the room first and said hello to everybody while Naruto stood straight behind her so she would block him from their view. The 3 of them mumbled a hello and tried to look behind her. Seeing this, Anko stepped aside with a smile on her face, never taking her eyes off the 3 men standing there. Nothing could have prepared them for when they saw the new Naruto standing there in the office. Naruto stood there with a smile that could light up the room in complete darkness. He took a few steps forward and made his way over to the 3 men. Ji-chan, Iruka-sensei, Hideki-san, it's great seeing the 3 of you again. I'm glad to see you all in good health. I've missed you guys very much. Naruto said, smiling. Sarutobi couldn't believe his eyes. For a moment he thought that Minato had come back to life. The resemblance was staggering. They could almost pass for twins if you didn't look at Naruto's whisked cheeks. He took a good look at Naruto. The boy had grown a few inches, his hair was longer than before and he believed Naruto had a small ponytail. He certainly gained some muscles but still had a lean body like he used to have. But what surprised him the most were Naruto's eyes. They showed happiness and love, something Naruto couldn't fake no matter what. For the first time he saw a truly happy Naruto and it couldn't make him happier. Anko had been the best teacher Naruto could ever have had, he realized. He would have to reward her, maybe give her a promotion or something. He would figure out that part later on. Iruka had about the same thoughts as Sandaime. Naruto had definitely become strong and powerful. Everything about Naruto's stance screamed confidence and pure strength. Naruto's smile showed that it was an honest and true smile, not like the ones before where he would hide behind a fake smile. Naruto had changed from a small boy to a powerful young man. He couldn't help but wonder what kind of training he had done. Looking at him, Iruka noticed the changes in his former student. Gone was the small boy he considered one of his favorite students. He had evolved into a young man ready for whatever life would throw at him and willing to fight for those he loved. He could see the sheer determination in Naruto's eyes. They showed him that he would never give up and always succeed in the thing that needed to be done no matter what the odds. He would have to thank Anko for doing such a great job in teaching Naruto. Hideki no longer saw the small little boy who had entered his shop 6 months ago but saw a young man full of life and happiness. He was really glad that he had the chance to get to know this wonderful boy who seemed to be well on his way to become the best shinobi ever lived. He just hoped that he lived long enough to be able to brag to others that he knew the Uzumaki Naruto. Naruto, it's so good to see you again after all these months. You look great. I'm sure you have become very strong if I'm to believe Anko reports. I can't wait to see what you have learned, but I'm sure we will see that during the Chunin exam in 5 months. For now, welcome back and I wish you good luck on your missions that will start tomorrow. Sandaime said, smiling at his adopted grandson. It's good to see you too, Ji-chan. And I promise you that you'll be surprised when you see how I perform at the Chunin exams. Naruto said with a large smile. I'm sure that Anko explained to you that at first you will have to do about 25 D rank missions before you can go on to C rank. That is Anko, Kurenai and myself have decided that you will be our extra member of Team 8 since all 3 members are heirs to their clan and each of them has several clan duties which makes them unavailable for team practice and missions. You will have to complete the necessary 25 D rank missions on your own and after that you'll be able to join them for every other missions they receive. Sandaime continued his explanation. He laughed at Naruto's face when he heard about the number of D rank missions he would have to do. 25 D rank missions. That much. Oh man, I was hoping there would be like 5 of them. Naruto said, a little disappointed. Anko didn't mention that he thought. He looked over at her and saw her grinning evilly at his expense. You don't have to grin that way, Anko-sensei. You'll be joining me for those missions, all 25 of them. Naruto said, trying to get a little revenge. He smiled when he saw Anko's grin disappear from her face. Of course, with the use of Kage Bunshin's 25 D rank missions are of no concern to you. I will allow up to 5 missions a day, so in 5 days you should be done with those. Is there anything you want to add? Sandaime explained to Naruto. Yeah, can we go to Ichiraku's? I'm starving and I really miss their ramen. Besides, I want to talk to you guys. I want to know what you guys have been doing while I was away. Naruto said, smiling at them. They all laughed at Naruto's request, but they gladly agreed and they made their way over to Ichiraku's. When they arrived, Naruto was greeted from the old man and his daughter who said that they missed his visits a lot. They were very happy that Naruto was back because this meant business would be good again. They all sat down and ordered some ramen and started talking amongst each other. Iruka saw his chance to talk to Anko and to thank her. Anko-san, I want to thank you for doing such an excellent job in teaching Naruto. Iruka said while bowing his head a little, showing his respect to the woman next to him. No need to thank me, Iruka, it was my pleasure teaching Naruto. He's a really talented shinobi and mark my words, he will become the best ever. There's no doubt in my mind about that. Anko said, reassuring Iruka. I always knew Naruto was somewhat talented, but I never thought he could become that strong in only 6 months. What kind of training did you give him? I never got him to be very attentive and motivated during his time at the academy. He asked her. He really wanted to know how Anko has succeeded in teaching Naruto when he couldn't. Iruka, before you start blaming yourself, you should know that it wasn't your fault at all. In fact, Naruto told me that you were the only teacher in the academy who taught him anything. The others just ignored him or picked on him. By the time you became his teacher, he was already behind in so many things he should have been taught that he simply couldn't follow in your class. Anko said, making Iruka think about Naruto's time at the academy. Why didn't I see that? I was supposed to be his teacher, I should have done something. Iruka said, furious with himself. He should have known how his so-called colleagues treated Naruto. No wonder Naruto had trouble in his year. Every year built on the previous year, so the last year required all the knowledge the students had acquired in all those years. Stop it, Iruka. Naruto doesn't blame you for anything, on the contrary, he is grateful for your guidance and the way you treated him. You were one of the first people who saw him as Uzumaki Naruto. He will never forget that. So stop moping and cheer up. Anko said, stopping the Chunin from blaming himself. She smiled when she saw Iruka sitting a little straighter and looking better. Iruka nodded and started asking her some questions about his training and the things Naruto had learned. Anko happily told Iruka about their time in the forest and the training they did. She was careful, however, not to tell any secrets about his parents, the Rasengan, and all the other things they wanted to keep a secret for now. The 5 of them had a very nice time talking to each other about the things that had happened in the last 6 months. After spending some time, Anko told them that they would have to say goodbye since they had a meeting with Kurenai and Team 8. They quickly promised to visit each of them later on and left for the training grounds. Anko led him to a special training area where Kurenai and her team always practiced in the afternoon every other day. Naruto was quite nervous to see his old classmates again. He hoped they would get along and become friends. He knew who was in Team 8 thanks to Anko, who, when she had lectured him on every clan in Konoha, gave Team 8 up as example of a tracking team. He remembered how Kiba, Shino and Hinata were when they were still in the academy, but he figured that they would have become much stronger since graduation. In the end, he tried to stop worrying and take the things as they came. Relax, Naruto-kun, everything will be fine. Anko said, trying to stop Naruto from worrying too much. Though she understood why he was nervous, she knew that he didn't have much friends at the academy. Since most saw him as the class clown and last. I'm trying, Anko-chan, but I can't help it. I just hope we'll get along and that I don't screw things up by acting like my former self. Naruto admitted. Stop it, Naruto. You're not the same Naruto from 6 months ago and you know it. And if you don't stop with thinking like that, I'll use you for target practice. Anko said sternly. It wouldn't do if Naruto lost his confidence now. He needed to impress his future teammates and sensei. You're right. I changed a lot and got stronger too, so I shouldn't have to worry. Thanks, Anko-chan. Naruto said, flashing a smile at her. You're welcome, Naruto-kun. Just remember to be yourself, okay? No mask whatsoever. Anko answered with a smile of her own. Naruto nodded, and a few minutes later they arrived at the training grounds and saw that Kurenai and her students weren't there yet, so they decided to sit down and relax for the time being. Naruto asked her what they would be doing this afternoon. Would they train or just get to know each other? But just as Anko was about to answer, 4 people and 1 dog arrived at the grounds. Anko grinned and stood up. Naruto followed as well, not wanting to be rude. Kurenai and her team arrived at the grounds, and Kurenai was very curious to meet Anko's star student, as she called him. She had told her team that they would get her extra member to help out, but she hadn't told them who, wanting it to be a surprise. She hoped she did the right thing by not telling. She would hate to ruin the whole thing if her team react badly. She was a little worried about Kiba since he would often speak without thinking, but she hoped that he would have the common sense not to. Kiba, Shino and Hinata were very curious to meet the new member of Team 8. They had only been told about this the day before, so it was all very new for them. Anko, welcome back. How have you been? And this must be Naruto if I'm not mistaken. It's a pleasure to meet you, Naruto. Anko has told a lot about you. I'm glad to have you on our team and I'm sure we'll get along fine. Kurenai said. Anko nodded and told that she was doing fine. Good afternoon Kurenai-sensei, it's a pleasure meeting you at last. Anko-sensei told me a lot about you as well. I'm honored that you would have me on your team. I assure I will do my very best to be a proud member of this team. Naruto said, introducing himself. The honor is all ours, Naruto. I would like to introduce you to the other members of our team. On the left is Inuzuka, Kiba and Akamaru, in the middle is Hyuga, Hinata, and on the right is Aburame, Shino. Now I know that the four of you know each other from the academy, but since it has been 6 months, why don't we introduce ourselves? Alright, why don't you start, Kiba? Kurenai said, finished introducing her team. Kiba started introducing himself, saying that he wanted to be the best Inuzaka clan head ever and hopefully beat his sister in a sparring match. Shino introduced himself by stating his name and then shutting up. Hinata, however, started stuttering and stammering some words before she fainted. Naruto would have laughed, but since he didn't know if it was serious or not, he looked over at Kurenai-sensei, who told him that she would be fine in a few minutes. After that, Naruto introduced himself by telling him dreams for the future and his hobbies. Anko and Kurenai introduced themselves as well, therefore finishing the introduction rounds. Anko and Kurenai told the kids that they could talk amongst themselves while they would make some arrangements for the following week. So the 4 kids separated themselves from the 2 women and started talking. Naruto, I didn't know you graduated from the academy. Hell, I haven't seen you in the village for months. What happened? Kiba exclaimed, no longer able to hold back his questions. Naruto very briefly explained the mess with Mizuki, meeting Anko and the training he received in the Forest of Death. He left out everything about the Kyuubi, his parents, his own secrets and the jutsus he learned from his dad. He did tell them about the things he learned from Anko and his taijutsu, knowing that they would see that soon anyway. Team 8 was surprised to say the least when they heard about Naruto's past 6 months. Man, so you kicked Mizuki's ass, huh? Niece, I never liked the guy anyway. But man, spending 6 months in that forest must have been brutal. I heard my sister talk about it, she said it is a very dangerous place even for Junin. Kiba said, impressed. Shino, also knowing about the dangers of the Forest of Death, nodded, telling Naruto that he respected him for surviving in such a harsh environment. NN Naruto-kun, you must have become very strong. Hinata managed to say after a few seconds of trying. I learned a lot from Anko-sensei, but there's still much I need to learn. Naruto assured her. Sure, he had gotten stronger in those 6 months, but he was sure that he still had much to learn. Besides, Anko told him repeatedly that he was still a rookie. I'm sure you guys have gotten much stronger as well. Besides, you have so much more experiences by doing missions all this time. I will have to work hard to catch up with the 3 of you. Naruto said. Experience. Sure, we've gotten experienced at catching that damn cat, Akamaru growled at hearing the word cat. Or doing stupid chores other villagers are too lazy to do themselves. Don't worry Naruto, those D-rank missions are a joke. First-year academy students could do those stupid missions. We only had a few C-rank missions and those were only slightly above D-rank anyway. Hopefully now that you're here we'll get some exciting missions. Kiba said, laughing. Naruto smiled, knowing that Kiba was right about those D-rank missions. Hinata and Shino nodded as well, and they gave some of their own opinions of the famous D-rank missions. After talking for a while, Kiba asked if Naruto wanted to have a sparring match. Naruto said he would be happy to have a spar, but only if they got permission from their sensei. Hinata quickly said she was going to ask their senseis for permission. 2 minutes later she came back with Anko and Kurenai in tow. Anko and Kurenai knew that this was a way for the 2 boys to bond, quickly agreed to a sparring match. Though Anko told them to take it easy on each other since they were now teammates. Both boys nodded their agreement and took a fighting stance. Anko and Kurenai would be refereeing the match. There would be 2 parts, a taijutsu part and a ninjutsu part, so they could judge each other. Alright Naruto, let me show you what I can do. Don't hold back on our account, Akamaru and me are strong enough. Kiba said confidently. Naruto nodded and got ready for Kiba's attack. Kiba, seeing that Naruto wanted him to start attacking, shot forward trying to punch Naruto in the face. Naruto calmly blocked the punch with his left forearm and grabbed Kiba by the back of his neck with his right hand and pulled him down towards the ground, where Naruto's knee planted itself into Kiba's stomach. Seeing that Akamaru was ready to defend his master, Naruto quickly jumped back. He didn't want to hurt a puppy. Kiba, not having expected such a move, took a heavy blow to his stomach and he was on his hands and knees trying to recover. Naruto let him have the time he needed. When Kiba got back up, he nodded to Naruto that it was okay for him to attack if he wanted, since he decided to be on the defensive side this time. Naruto nodded and started his attack. He ran up to Kiba and lifted his left leg to make a kick to Kiba's right side. Kiba, seeing this, prepared to block the kick, but the only thing he felt was a soft pain before he got kicked in the side of face. Naruto had used a feint to make Kiba guard his ribs, but after that really weak kick, instead of putting his foot down like Kiba thought he would, Naruto slightly pulled back his leg and raised it to kick him in the face. Seeing stars, Kiba took a few steps back in case Naruto attacked again. Luckily for him, Anko and Kurenai ended the taijutsu part at that moment. Kurenai, Hinata and Shino stood there shocked that Kiba lost in both an offensive and defensive taijutsu spar. Kiba's taijutsu was not the best around, but he would give a lot of genin trouble, and Naruto defeated him without trouble. Though the moves Naruto made seemed simple, they were very efficient and powerful. "Are you okay, Kiba?" Naruto said, hoping that he didn't hurt his new teammate too much. "Don't worry, Naruto, I'll be fine in a moment. You caught me off guard with that move. I thought you were aiming for my ribs and didn't expect you to follow up with a kick to the head," Kiba said, shaking his head clear. "Yeah, the first was a feint. Guess it worked, huh?" Naruto said, smiling. "It worked all right. Fine, you win the taijutsu part, but you won't have such an easy time with the ninjutsu part, since now Akamaru and me will both take you on," Kiba said confidently. "We'll see, Kiba, but I won't go down without a fight," Naruto said, rising to the challenge. "Seems like Kiba and Naruto will get along fine, don't you think?" Kurenai said to Anko, seeing how both of them were interacting. "Yeah, seems like I worried for nothing. I'm very glad they get along, because no matter how well Naruto and I get along, he still needs friends of his own age as well," Anko said, very happy that Naruto seemed to enjoy himself. She had been a little concerned about how Team 8 would react to Naruto, but it seemed her worries were unjustified. "Tell me, Anko, how well do you and Naruto get along?" Kurenai asked, teasing her friend. "Don't imagine things that aren't there, Kurenai. Naruto and I are just good friends, I assure you," Anko said with a small blush on her face. "If you say so, Anko, but why are you blushing?" Kurenai asked. This was perfect payback for all the teasing Anko did to her about Asuma. "I'm not blushing," Anko whispered in a tone that said, "Drop it or else." "Fine, I'm sorry for teasing you, Anko," Kurenai said, smiling. After a minute, Kiba said he could continue to the ninjutsu part of the match. Seeing as he now could use his combinations jutsu with Akamaru, he was a little more confident than about the taijutsu part, but he made himself remember not to underestimate Naruto anymore. Naruto nodded, saying he was ready as well. They both took a stance, waiting for the signal which would start the match. When Kiba heard Kurenai giving the signal, he attacked. "Akamaru, here we go. Juujin Bunshin no Jutsu," Kiba yelled out, and Akamaru barked. Suddenly Naruto saw two Kiba glaring down on him. Since he hadn't seen any of Kiba's jutsus before, he decided to stay on the defense. Gatsuga. And with that, the two Kibas jumped towards Naruto and started spinning. Naruto didn't need to be explained that he would get hurt if he got hit with that jutsu, so he got ready to evade them. After evading them the first time, they just turned around and came right at him again. He knew that he couldn't evade forever and that he would get hit eventually if he didn't react. Jumping back a little, he started doing hand seals at very high speed. "Doton, Doryuheiki no Jutsu," Naruto called out. Out of Naruto's mouth came a large stream of mud and erected a wall of mud before him. The two Kibas, who couldn't stop in mid-attack, crashed right into the wall, shattering it a few seconds later. But it came at a price, because it stopped their movement and had hurt them from hitting the solid wall. Shaking their head clear, they saw a kunai heading towards them, which Kiba dodged it with ease. When they looked in front of them, they saw Naruto waiting for the next attack. The original Kiba motioned to his partner to attack again, but all of a sudden he felt someone put a sword at his tee. "Do you yield?" Naruto asked. Kiba, seeing no other option, told Anko and Kurenai that he forfeited the match. As she saw that Kurenai was too shocked, Anko called the match in Naruto's favor. Naruto sheathed his sword and congratulated Kiba and Akamaru for a great match. Kiba snorted and told Naruto the same. "Kurenai, Hinata and Shino started clapping at the both of them for a very nice match. How did you get behind me? I didn't see you move at all. How did you do that? Kiba said, wanting to know how Naruto had defeated him. I knew that I couldn't keep evading your Gatsuga for very long, so I devised a plan of attack. I used Doton, Doryuheiki no Jutsu, to stop your movements and to give me time to make a cage bunshin. The wall would also hide me from your view, and while you couldn't see me, I hanged myself into a kunai and make the clone throw me towards you, knowing you would dodge it. When you did, I transformed back and put my sword at your teeth. Naruto explained for Kiba. How did you know I was the real Kiba and not a Kamaru? Kiba asked. I didn't know who was who, but I figured that you wouldn't let a Kamaru get hurt or Ketsa. In the end, it didn't matter. Naruto explained. Yeah, I won't let a Kamaru get hurt. He's my partner and my friend. Kiba said while petting a Kamaru on the head. Anko couldn't be more proud of Naruto. He had come up with a very good plan and had performed it flawlessly. It was a well thought out plan and it proved to work just like he predicted. Teammate and Kurenai stared at Naruto when he explained everything, having trouble to believe that Naruto, who people always called untalented and stupid, could come up with such a plan while being under attack. It showed a lot of Naruto's true talent that he could come up with such a perfect plan and that he could perform it as well. Yeah, about that sword, where did it come from? I didn't see you carrying a sword before you put at my tea. Kiba wondered. I have been carrying it all the time. See, Naruto said as he turned around and pointed to lower back. Naruto then showed them his sword and the sheath on his lower back, explaining to them that although it looked like he carried a knife or something, it was actually his sword. Teammate looked amazed that Naruto had such a weapon and wondered where he had acquired it. Wow, that's so cool. Where did you get that? I've never seen such a thing before. Kiba said, forgetting his loss. Well, you could say it's a family heirloom in a way. Naruto said, evading the question. He didn't want them to know that he forged it himself. He would tell them eventually, but not today. After talking and laughing some more, Kurenai dismissed her 3 students and told them that they would meet for team practice the next morning. Saying the goodbye to Naruto, Anko and Kurenai, they left excited about their new companions and friends. Kurenai bid Anko and Naruto farewell as Shia, not date, with Asuma. Naruto and Anko made their way towards Naruto's apartment to check if it was still standing. When they arrived, they found his front door broken down, graffiti on the walls and several rocks with hate messages wrapped around them in the room. Naruto sighed. He just got back and those kind of things were already happening. It seemed that some villagers had heard about his return and they wanted to welcome him back. Anko, however, was furious. How dare they treat her Naruto-kun like that? If she ever found the ones doing this, there would be hell to pay. Grabbing Naruto's hand, she dragged him out the room and started to make her way to her own home. There's no way in hell that I'm allowing you to stay in that place, Naruto. You're staying with me from now on. Since I live in a shinobi-only building, they wouldn't dare to try that there. And I'm not taking a no for an answer. Anko said after Naruto asked her where they were headed. Thank you, Anko-chan. Naruto said softly while feeling very happy that he would be able to stay with Anko. He really had started to like her after spending so much time with her. He felt comfortable around her and she always could make him smile. Not to mention she was very beautiful and drop SC. Don't mention it. Beside, I've gotten used to having you around, Naruto-kun, and I really enjoy your company. So it's a win-win situation for both of us. Anko said, winking at Naruto, which made him blush a little. She loved it when she could make him blush. She thought it was the cutest thing. Anko guided him towards the building she lived in. From his apartment it took them only a few minutes since they jumped over the rooftops instead of walking. When they arrived, Naruto saw a big building that seemed to house several small apartments for shinobi. Anko, seeing the look on his face, explained that the building had over 100 living quarters that only Chunin or higher could rent. Each living quarter had a bedroom, a small guest room, bathroom, a kitchen and a living room, and was in fact perfect for a single person living there. She told him that she had been living here for years since it was calm and relatively cheap to rent. After reaching her floor, she went to her door and opened it so Naruto could get inside. He took off his shoes and quietly waited for Anko to tell him it was okay to proceed into the living room. Seeing his hesitation, she went over to him to reassure him a little. Naruto, what are you waiting for? Go on, come on in, there's no need to be shy, you know. We've been living together for 6 months now, so make yourself at home, okay? Anko said, motioning to Naruto to get his butt inside. She then made her way into the small kitchen to get something to drink. Naruto made his way into the living room and instantly felt like he belonged here. The room was small but cozy, and to him that was something new. His apartment was anything but cozy thanks to some villagers. He placed his backpack next to Anko's and sat down on the couch waiting, trying to adjust to this new living environment. Anko came back from the kitchen and gave Naruto a glass of juice and sat down as well. You know, I'll miss the cave in the forest. It became a home away from home to me. I really enjoyed the time we spent there. Anko said, sipping from her drink. Yeah, me too. I love the village, but like you said, the forest and the cave became like a second home. Too bad we couldn't stay any longer, huh? Naruto said, leaning back in the comfortable couch. Sure, but I think we'll be able to enjoy ourselves here as well. Consider this your home from now, Naruto-kun. She said softly. Thanks, Anko-chan, that means a lot to me, more than you'll ever know. Naruto said, looking straight at Anko. So what do you think about Team 8? Think you'll get along with everyone? Anko asked, trying to cheer Naruto up a little. I think we'll get along fine. I mean, Kiba is strong and he has some very powerful jutsus when he fights with Akamaru. We got along fine in the academy most of the time. We were both slackers when it came to homework and tests, so we spent some time together during Iruka's punishment classes. I think we'll be fine. Naruto said after thinking for a moment. Anko nodded, glad he and Kiba would get along. Then there's Hinata. I admit not knowing a lot about her, but she seems a nice girl even if she's still as shy like before. She fainted while introducing herself to me. Really weird, but we should get along. Naruto said, smiling a little bit. Anko actually let out a small chuckle when she remembered Hinata's introduction. She and Kurenai had already decided to have a talk with the girl about her problems with her confidence. What about Shino? Kurenai told me that she still hadn't got through to him. Anko said. The Aberrane clan was known for their calm and sometimes cold attitude towards others. Shino, now he's a mystery to me. While I know about his family and his family's style of fighting, I know nothing about him personally. He used to be quiet in class and a little reserved as well. But he's strong and intelligent, so that should be no problem. Naruto finished. Anko nodded and asked him what he wanted to do for dinner, seeing she didn't have anything in the fridge. Naruto suggested that they could have her favorite since they already ate ramen earlier today. She happily agreed and they made their way over to her favorite dango place. Since it was still early in the evening, the place was as good as empty and they took a seat that was a little bit secluded from the rest of the place. Anko ordered several plates of dango while Naruto ordered himself a okonomiyaki, which Anko said was the best here as well. They talked a bit about those pesky D-rank missions they would have to do in the following days, and when their food arrived they ate in silence, each enjoying a nice and tasteful diner. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.